The Arizona sun hammered down like a blacksmith's anvil as Jake Morrison guided his horse across the hardpan desert. 2 years of ranching had taught him to read this land like scripture. But today the desert felt wrong, dead wrong. Sergeant, his old cavalry-trained mare, tossed her head and snorted, ears flicking nervously. Animals sense things men tried to ignore. Jake tightened his grip on the reins when he spotted them in the distance, wooden stakes driven into the earth in a perfect square. No cattle tracks. No wagon ruts. No reason for anything to be out here except trouble. He dismounted, boots crunching softly across the sand. The Winchester on his back, 36 inches of American steel, was as familiar as his own heartbeat. His Colt .45 rode heavy on his hip, fully loaded, ready to put a man down for good. As he approached the stakes, the shape lashed to them resolved into a woman. She hung forward, barely upright, dark hair matted against sunburned skin. Young, mid-20s, maybe. Apache, judging by her braid and her bearing. But it was the silver and turquoise necklace around her throat that froze Jake where he stood. Chieftain family jewelry. Her head lifted as his shadow fell over her. Her eyes, sharp, fierce, didn't show gratitude. They calculated his worth like a pawn on a battlefield. Water, she rasped, voice scraping like sandpaper. Jake hesitated, then pulled his canteen free. 2 years ago he trusted too quickly, and had come home to find his wife Sarah and their boy Tommy scattered across their porch like broken dolls, Apache paint smeared on their fence posts. He forced the memory down. This woman wasn't them. She was just another soul the desert meant to claim. He stepped forward. The knife came from nowhere. She slashed for his throat, and he jerked back, water spilling across the sand. His hand dropped to his Colt. "Easy, miss," he said, voice low and steady, the voice of a man who had survived Confederate cavalry charges. "I'm trying to help." She barked a bitter laugh. "Help? You people do not help. You take. You kill." Her English startled him, educated, precise. No common raiding party girl. "Who are you?" Jake asked. "Ayanna," she said. "Daughter of Chief Mano." Lightning shot through Jake's veins. Mano, the Apache war leader who'd kept 3 cavalry companies dancing in circles for 5 years. "Then what in hell are you doing tied up out here?" Ayanna's eyes hardened. "I let them capture me. I needed to see their numbers. Their guns. Their plans." She jerked her chin toward her bonds. Being left to die wasn't part of the arrangement. Before Jake could answer, the distant thunder of hooves rolled across the desert. Dust clouds rose fast, multiple riders. "Hold still," he muttered, cutting her free. Ayanna collapsed, then pushed to her feet with the iron will of a trained warrior. No weakness, no hesitation. "How many?" she asked. 6, maybe 8. She vaulted onto Sergeant's back without being asked. Jake swung up in front of her and spurred hard. They had seconds before the riders crested the ridge. Gunfire cracked behind them, bullets hissing past like angry hornets. Jake bent low over the saddle, one arm steadying Ayanna. Sergeant ran full tilt across broken ground, foam flying from her muzzle. Then a familiar voice cut through the chaos. "That's Jake Morrison. Iron Jake Morrison from Mesa Ridge." Jake's blood froze. Colonel Hayes. The same Kentucky-drawled colonel who had promised protection to settlers 2 years ago, and had arrived 3 hours too late to save Sarah and Tommy. "You know him?" Ayanna shouted. "We got history," Jake growled. "Bad history." A bullet whipped past his ear. "Military shooting, clean, controlled. Canyon ahead," he said. "If we reach the rocks, we got a chance." Ayanna pointed. "There. The gap, Devil's Canyon." They shot into the narrow opening just as Hayes's riders crested the ridge. The canyon swallowed them, walls rising high and cool around them. Sounds echoed, hooves, breathing, gunfire, twisting into ghostly shapes. Jake pulled Sargent into a natural alcove behind a rockfall. He slid off, Winchester ready. Ayanna drew a Colt Navy she'd somehow acquired, checking the cylinder with practiced expertise. Hayes's voice boomed through the canyon. "Morrison. Send out the girl and walk away." "Like hell," Jake muttered. Hayes continued, "This doesn't concern you. It's military business. Same kind of business you used when you left my family to die." Jake shouted back. A long silence. Then Hayes's voice sharpened. "That's ancient history. This here is about progress, what's best for the territory." Ayanna's eyes flashed. "The silver mine on our land," she called. "That's what you really want." Hayes laughed, a cold, humorless sound. "Smart girl. Too smart. That mine's gonna fund civilization, whether your people want it or not." Jake felt sick. The truth hit him like a hammer. Sarah and Tommy hadn't died because of a raid, they'd died because someone wanted the land cleared. "You bastard," Jake whispered. Rifle fire erupted. Jake fired 3 quick shots, accurate, deadly. Ayanna fired beside him, hitting stone inches from a hidden shooter, forcing him to retreat. "How many rounds?" Jake asked. 4 left. I've got 8 in the Winchester, 6 in the Colt. Not enough if they rush. They won't rush, Ayanna said. Hayes is too smart. He'll flank us. Hoofbeats echoed from both ends of the canyon. He already has, Jake said. Ayanna pointed to a shadowed opening. Cave. 20 feet. Can you cover me? Jake laid down steady fire as she sprinted across the open ground, moving like smoke. She waved him over, and he followed, reloading on the run. Inside, the darkness wrapped around them like a grave. Ayanna struck a match. And Jake's breath vanished. Crates. Dozens of them. Stenciled with U.S. Army markings. Springfield rifles. Spencer carbines. A Gatling gun gleamed in the corner like a polished brass monster. Sweet Jesus, Jake whispered. Hayes has been selling weapons to both sides, Ayanna said. Feeding the war. Feeding his profits. A shadow shifted. Jake spun, hand on his gun. Tommy Martinez. Jake breathed. You're working for Hayes. Tommy raised a rifle, then saw the weapon cache. His face drained. Madre de Dios. I didn't know about this, he whispered. Hayes told me it was just one Apache spy. Ayanna stepped forward. Look around. This is a massacre waiting to happen. Tommy swallowed, then lowered his rifle. I'm done with Hayes. I'm with you. Ayanna lit another match. Tomorrow at dawn Hayes attacks my father's village. 200 innocents. He'll arm a rescue party with these guns. Make it look like justice. And when it's over, our land becomes his silver mine. Jake clenched his jaw. Sarah's dying words echoed back to him, no more innocent blood. What's the plan? He asked. Ayanna's eyes glinted. My people are evacuating the village tonight. When Hayes arrives, it will be empty. Meanwhile a small Apache team will destroy these weapons. But we need someone to warn my father before dawn, and someone to keep Hayes committed to attacking the empty village. Someone meaning me, Jake said. And me, Tommy added. Gunfire echoed from the cave entrance, Hayes's men entering the outer chamber. We need to go, Ayanna whispered. There's another tunnel. They crawled through narrow passages, emerging into a ravine running north. 5 miles to the village, Ayanna said. If we move fast, we'll make it. They did. Chief Mano's village appeared at dusk, nestled in a hidden amphitheater of red stone. Smoke curled from cook fires. Children laughed. Old men carved wood, women stirred pots. A peaceful place. A place Hayes meant to burn to ash. Ayanna stepped forward, her voice ringing across the camp. "Father." And as Chief Mano turned, Jake Morrison realized he was about to walk into another war, one he had no choice but to finish.